Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our second series of the night. We are here in the Gold Division, Chicago Hunted, New York SubPar. Both these teams fighting for their championship here in the spring season of the CRL and loading into a gold lobby. We've got some shooters, we've got some good gameplay coming for you guys. So excited to see how this series is going to progress.
Yeah, unfortunately, we get to see two Hossies back to back. I hate this map. And as we continue to go, I just don't want to see it anymore. But oh well. I say it every single time. Hopefully, seeing K's listening, he can go to sleep to my bed by stories of hating Hossie and a hardpoint. But here we are, New York Subpar, Chicago Hunted, Gold Championship here between this pre-made on Thursday night. We're looking at two pretty good teams here. I really don't know anybody from this team. I'm kind of too new to know Floofbot. Apparently, he's quite the guy in the CRL, but so far, he's doing quite the bad job here at 1 and 4. Hopefully, he can pick that up, have a little bit better of a series here. But Chicago Hunted is having a pretty good P2 so far, set up and ready to go for this attack.
Yeah, they're setting up ready to defend this P2, and New York is going to have some good positioning here to make some plays happen. Unfortunately, somebody can get taken out from side door there. Gunfights go down in the favor of the front of the hill to the Chicago Hunted. That's going to force New York to be off spawn, hold from this rock side, look to take some shots, but it's going to be difficult to get this player off of the Lambo Heady. As we always see, Spicy looking to get active, got the AR and the sub, able to slide out, get some shots in, help his teammate get that kill. Shoko is able to clean up that last player that was pushed out towards the top side. Geeb and Welts are both on the push, though, so they're looking to find these New York subpar players that are on rotation. Gunfight going to come down in the back. Geeb's going to get the info there. Shoku, made of also seen him, going to go for that rechal as well. Able to win that gunfight. That's going to allow New York here in P3 first. There is going to be one Chicago Hunter player that spawns out. He's going to get a big kill on the back of Plat. Going to get taken out from 10. And New York subpar doing a good job holding here so far, but Chicago Hunted are not giving up on this P3 quite yet.
CK, converse with me here for a second. Have you met like any single non-mod or admin in the CRL who's an OG who has an easy pronounceable name? Like, I feel like all of them are weird. Like, I don't know how to pronounce them. We have Cookie, just not spelled like cookie at all. Cookie, Quack guy. I don't know. We got Floofbot. Appreciate that one. And Shuko Shaku Shaku
Shook on these
here on this
nuts.
team. So I mean, oh, that what a
Gotcha.
good one. I love that. I love that. That's a good one. But yeah, so far Chicago Hunted doing their thing here in this map. 50-point advantage here on this P4 early rotation. The side of New York subpar are gonna need a break here quick. So far it's been pretty rough for them this time. Not able to get a lot of breaks here. They had a lot of success there on that P3, able to keep that mixy. But as we're heading towards this P4, the side of Chicago Hunted have this on lock and they are ready to rock and roll here. To counter this attack from the side of New York subpar. You're down by 60 points now. This is the time to kind of turn it around.
Yeah, this is the time to turn it around, but Chicago Hunted is not allowing you to do that. They're playing their lives very well as a squad. They're baiting and switching each other. They're taking the gunfights together, and they're just ripping New York subpar apart right now through the first set of rotations here on this Hossie hardpoint. And New York subpar, you go down big in the map of Hossie, like we talk about quite often, and it's difficult to kind of roll back once you hit closer towards that 200 mark. We see a lot of teams that have to make a huge comeback, and this is the P1 and P2 rotations here are going to be big. They're already securing a decent chunk of time here with the first 15 seconds onto P1. We got some potential gunfights coming down all around the map, but Chicago Hunted with the main advantage. They're just looking for the info. They're looking to get some of these players, make sure there's nobody wrapping spawn, getting behind them, looking to clear off the time where they can. And there was a cruise missile that comes down, so that's going to get the player out of the hill time. Some more gunfights going towards the side of the New York subpar as well. Shoku able to win a nice gunfight there towards the close side of the map. There is going to be one Chicago Hunted player in the deep back of statue. We might see an interesting gunfight come down. Some timing is not going to go to Shoku, and he's gonna get taken out by Geeb deep in the back. There's gonna be another gunfight here too, as Floof is taking a deep wrap towards G-Wagon, gonna get some good timing there on Geeb, able to take that, gonna rip Spicy there from the deep Lambo. He does not have any help here, but he is gonna temporarily block the close spawns, but these players from Garden are gonna be on him pretty fast. He's gonna look to make his way towards the side door. Gunfight's coming down towards the middle of Hill, and just kind of a pretty back and forth here so far, from the side of P2, and, there's gonna be a big 1v1 here left on time with Rose close to the door. He's gonna take some shots, but gonna get taken out by Geeb on that heady, and that's gonna allow Chicago Hunted to get a good chunk of the scrap time, also flip spawns, and we're gonna see
Yes.
our first capture of
Yes.
the night
Yes.
and the couch.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Caster, we gotta
Yes.
keep the POV here. They're just having fun at this
Yes.
point in time. But New York SubPar gonna be on the rotation first, but Chicago
Yes.
Hunted feeling good so far here on the Hossie map number 1.
That has just got to feel terrible. If you are that player down by 110 in the hard point, and you are just getting bent over on the couch right outside of P4. So I mean, that is a little crazy from the side of Chicago Hunted there. But when you're 23-9, we'll let it slide, Welts. We'll let it slide. You're doing your thing. I mean, well, it's okay once in a while. But man, that's the first one we've seen. The whole time, Black Ops 6.
That's the first one that we've seen together. There's been other ones on the CRL stream, but that's the first one we've gotten to see live. And yeah, I don't think Wilt saw. I don't know if you saw that AI generated Twitter post that was the Activision making a public statement that diddying and all that kind of stuff was going to be enforced in the public lobbies due to player
Maybe he didn't see. He didn't sign that one. I'll tell you that.
he didn't see the fake post or not, so we'll have to defer to the CRL admins if they're gonna enforce a fake law made by some random guy on Twitter. But yeah, Chicago Hunted feeling good here so far, but New York SubPar not out of this game. A big P4 here is gonna put you into consideration once again, and we see some nice gunfights going down in their favor here, but there are gonna be quite a few Chicago Hunted players choosing to attack this hill. Aspen able to get one, able to get two, gonna get some shots into the third. No one able to immediately follow up, so that's going to allow Chicago Hunted to break into this P4, looking to secure the scrap time as they're getting very close and crossing the 200-point mark now.
Yeah, and I mean, just a reminder for the people, Chicago Hunted are undefeated so far heading into this. New York SubPar, obviously no slouches themselves, 6-1 on the season, and with 2 playoff wins. So I mean, both these teams are capable of winning, and I mean, I expect to see a good series, kind of regardless of the outcome here. We see this with Hossie. I feel like it's either really close or it's really not. It's kind of like Skyline. It reminds me of that, like the score lines that we see. Obviously, plays way different, but so far, I mean, it's been all Chicago Hunted on this map number 1. But you are in the bright lights, as I've learned to speak finally. And so map number 1, you have some jitters, and map number 2, you kind of just come out and do your thing there. So I mean, as a person who's typically trying to get their team going and doing what they need to, there's a lot of times you get to this map number 1 or map number 2 where you're down by a lot, and you really just say, boys, let's just get the guns warm for the next one. New York SubPar still fighting here, still looking to do something, but Chicago Hunted have built themselves a tremendous lead. It is going to be practically impossible for the side of New York SubPar to do anything here on this map number 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be just play for some kills, a little bit of time here, a little bit of time there. You've got about, 3 full hills of time nearly that you can give up, and you're just looking for 13 seconds yourself, and they're looking to close it out here on the P2 with a pretty ironclad setup here with 2 players lobby, 2 players towards the hill, 1 player watching front, 1 player watching back. New York is going to be able to slide in, but Spicy's going to win that gunfight. His teammate's going to get taken out, but he's there for the trading. Geeb's going to say, I don't want your help. I'm going to take you out. I'm going to get this point secured by myself and close out the dub on map number 1. And you said it. Hossie can be very close or it can be very not. And New York, you just gotta kind of take that map number 1, loss, that kind of punch to the chin that they got, just shake it off. Look to potentially make it back up here in the map number 2 as we're gonna stay on this wonderful Hossie all the Hossie all the time. number 2. Like we said, New York SubPar looking for a bounce back. Chicago Hunted looking to press their advantage. We're starting off here with Aston rocking that submachine gun as the Ninja Turtle himself, running around. Who knows which one he's running as? I don't know if you can tell from the hands themselves, but he's looking to get aggressive towards the single window. Is going to get that first blood and looking to keep the pace pushing through the office side.
There are two turtles running around. Not sure
There's
exactly which
2.
ones they are, but Chicago Hunted back down to a kind of a tied game here. Shoku kind of last alive here with Giba 1v1. They do spot each other. Shoku able to pick up that jackal here, kind of looking towards a close range gunfight, but it's just going to reposition. He has bomb. He's got to make the play. Geeb is really just kind of looking to protect this bomb site here. Reset has come through on these players. They are not sure where each other are. Shoku's going to know that Geeb is around. He does see that spot. Is going to take some shots down. Going to throw a grenade there. But Geeb is really just protecting this B site. So timing's going to get real interesting here as Geeb is available to get away there. Shoku's going to have no idea what's happening. I would imagine that Geeb's going to imagine or think of an A push towards here. But we'll kind of see here. He may have seen that player. He knows that bombs went on B now. So it's just up to this post position plant from both from Shoku and see if Geeb can get any advantage.
Yeah, and Shoku's playing that Creddy over towards the garage side. So we clear out into the site, but Shoku's going to chow out as soon as he looks towards the inside. So going to get some good COD timing there, able to check at just the right time and win that 1v1. You know, sometimes we see players that choose to play on that rock and they kind of like flip back and forth. They're watching garage, they're watching outer towards the boat side, they're watching middle. It gets bad timing. Shoku just posts up in his spot, looks at the clock, says, all right, it's been about, close to that mark where a person could have just hopped on and diffused after a couple of seconds to get here. I'm gonna go check. Gets the timing on Gabe, able to win that 1v1, and just a really great play. I mean, we saw Shoku climbing up that ladder, and Geeb jumps out towards the middle, and they just miss each other. Neither sees anybody. Shoku goes for the chow onto the site, not getting the immediate info, but Geeb's gone and able to win that 1v1 in New York subpar. So Shoku himself getting that first blood, potentially looking for more through the middle of the map, but Rose is going to fall up there. Shots are going to come down towards Shoku now. He's going to get chowed, but Rose is there for the help, able to clean that up, get that trade, and New York subpar starting off great here on Hossie map number 2 so far. Up 2-0. First bloods in their favor, able to win a big 1v1 towards the end of that round number 1. And round number 2, much more in their favor, able to get that first blood and clean up some kills as well with some of the information that they had based off of that.
In that round number 1, that's gotta feel good. The side of Shoku, side of New York, that's a really long 1v1 that was developing there on that round. So it's gotta feel good to kind of battle through that. Just kind of battle of the minds on that 1v1 is typically what it comes down to. And just good job from the side of Shoku New York. And so they're riding that high, winning round number 2. To answer your initial question about turtle persons, we do see that Shoku is running Leonardo. He is the blue one. I haven't gotten a peek on Aston yet on what he's running. Maybe we'll get a good peek at some point from him. But here we go, the third person, and that is going to be Raphael there in that orange. Is it orange? I don't know. I'm colorblind, so don't ask me what color they are. To be honest here, it's getting kind of tough here, but I love this. I love this third person here. He's gonna be last alive in a 1v2. He's able to pick up the first one. Can he reset and get the second kill?
Yeah, he is gonna be able to regen. Gonna look, gonna see the bombs down. Gonna shoulder. He bomb himself. He's gonna shoulder, but fall right into the guns of the Chicago Hunted there. And I'm not a Ninja Turtle snob by any means, but Raphael and Leonardo as the duo, I guess it kind of makes sense as the duo themselves, but
here's the red one. Yeah,
man.
okay, yeah. We're good. Yeah, that's Raphael. Okay, cool.
I said it was
making sure.
You're just not
just
listening.
making sure.
It's okay.
It's okay. 100%. Yeah, I mean, we've been through this.
Yeah, I mean, you're just like a woman at the end of the day. You choose to listen to what you want to, and you don't listen to me. Something like that. I don't know.
Well, it was fun casting with you, CK. We're gonna be taking over this one kind of solo probably for the rest of the night. But man, yeah, Chicago Hunted able to win. We're in a 2v1 advantage. Aston with a great Absolute god nade over there towards that well side. You can see Samantha and the PJs just hanging out, and Geeb is just looking to join her there. Ryan with a great flank so far, able to get shots down, but not able to pick anything up here. It's going to be Welts left in a 1v3, and that Jackal is not that good anymore, my guy. You're not going to be able to pick up that kill. They are going to know his position. He's going to look out here just to see if he can get a reset, but with bomb down, this is going to be a rough one.
Yeah, and Ashton's able to get that kill. I believe that's 3 on the round for him. So starting off with that nade over the top of Garden, able to win a big gunfight on that player's side, challenging him from Archit, and then able to clean up the last player as well. So good, good kind of place from the side of New York SubPar here, starting off great on the Hosty search and destroy. And first bloods have been big. Shoku with one, Aston with the nade there on the second one, and then there's some big gunfight wins as well. You know, big 1v1 gunfights. You know, we saw Ryan on the pinch there, gonna unfortunately shoot his gun as that player is sliding across his screen, so not able to get that kill on that player that was in the back, and then he gets double chowed. So when you're down in the main advantage, you kind of got to make the play happen, and if you don't get the first one, you just kind of see it go downhill from there. But Chicago Hunted now able to get the first and the second blood and the third blood. Shoku's going to follow up with 2 though, going to make this a 1v2 now rather than the 1v4 that it actually would have been. So potential for the ace on the round. He does have the bomb, looking to make his way through the back of his spawn. Number 7 probably saw him cross there, so looking to potentially get this player in the back. Welts is going to reposition, going to be able to take out Shoku there. Good attempt from his side, but it's always hard when you kind of see those gunfights rock happen pretty fast a lot of times with both teams getting there pretty fast, and they just go to the favor the Chicago Hunted early, and luckily enough, Shoku's able to kind of even up the score a little bit. But then you're kind of just stuck in your map positioning. They know you're not going mid. You might cross boat. There's a player watching deep back the other way, so they're just able to kind of sniff them out, get the intel that they need to, and clean up the kills there.
I mean, he had the opportunity. A couple isolated gunfights there. Just like you said, you're trapped on your side. There's not much you can do there. Uh, so far, New York still have that advantage. They're running the probably the preferred defensive side here. It looks like we're gonna see a B hit coming in for the side of Chicago Hunted. We see these initial peaks. They are gonna know this player is towards this boat side on this head glitch. Ashton. On this flank here, get some great timing on this player. Looks like we have an awkward gunfight there. Ashton able to win that. Make this a 3v2 for his team. Geeb and Spicy both left towards site. Rose able to pick up one, put shots into the other there. And New York SubPar with just another critical round there from their team. Able to pick up the trades when they need to. Able to go up 4-2 in this. And so far, they're looking pretty good. If this eventually goes to a map 5, I'm definitely swinging towards the side of New York SubPar. They're playing just very well as a team. Playing very clinical together, playing together, getting those trades. Doing what they need to secure bomb sites as well. So far, looking pretty good from the side of New York.
If there's 2 things that we both love, it's critical COD gameplay and critical IEMs. Talk about W's on both sides, but good readjust there to get it right the second time. By the way, good job. But like you mentioned, New York Subpar off to a great start here, and again, they're looking for the first blood here on the offensive side. They're playing through the top. They're going to get some intel on that player well. Unfortunately, Shoku's not going to look for the instant reach out, so not going to get the first blood there on that player. First blood is going to go to the side of the Chicago Hunted, but Aston able to follow up there immediately with the trade. And we got some
Get
interesting map
another.
positioning here. Yeah, it does get another, and then another one coming down as well for Shoku. So now it's going to be Ryan left in a 1v3. Not really a whole lot of things you can do here. I mean, there's a lot of
Yo, is
maps
that a
you can
unicorn?
cover as a what? Unicorn. What?
Yeah, did you see the picture? Dude was staring at?
Maybe it's a unicorn.
Like,
There's a shark
yeah,
tank
in logs. Shark Tank, pitch your ideas.
beeper.
Maybe we need something to allow me to speak words, apparently.
English is a tough
I
language.
I would be impressed if any people in the chat or listening know the critical reference. But I do respect that
Tip
coming
it,
out. That's a
tip
pretty
it,
good one.
tip it, tip it from the boy Wolfie. You see, you're setting me up for good little bait and switches here that me and you are gonna get, and maybe some audio files in the chat will also get. But maybe not. You never know. New York Subpar though, they get it. They get how to play Hostage Search and Destroy, and Man, they're doing it darn well, and that boy Ast is putting my name to shame, saying that Raphael is not the coolest Ninja Turtle. He's just doing his thing right now at 12-3, doing a lot for his boys over on the side of New York subpar. Looking to close this out here in round
He's doing
number.
okay. Not too bad.
He's doing all right, on a four
I
spree.
mean, 12 kills in a hard
Hopefully,
point, not great. 12 kills in S&D, pretty good.
it is pretty good. I mean, you put up 12 as a player, and you're feeling really good. I mean, you are,
12,
but
12 and 7, nonetheless.
12-7
7 rounds. This should be the
and
8th
7.
round.
This is the
Seven,
eighth
seven.
round.
Yeah. Cool. Post plan for the side of Chicago Hunted. They are the man advantage. They are going to spot out at least one player deep. Going to spot out that player office at Floof. Able to pick up a big kill there towards office. This is going to even it up for the side of New York. This number 8 player is in a great spot, just kind of a little ratty spot. Does Ashton check this corner? He is not, unfortunately, switching weapons there. Floof able to read the player towards the left. Is he going to read the player towards the right? Gunshots coming in, but not able to win that. Chicago Hunted with a spread post plant there, but able to succeed that. So that ratty corner there towards boat, man, that's just a good play from the side of Chicago Hunted there to make that. Ashton's not going to read that, especially as we're getting later in the round. So side of Chicago Hunted, they're still fighting here. It's 5-3. It's the 5-2 curse. So we'll see if they can make this happen here. But New York, so far looking pretty good on this map. Just another round that they kind of gave up, just unfortunately kind of losing some first bloods.
Yeah, and I think they chose to play that round pretty passively there, and it might have bit them a little bit in the butt. But ultimately, you've got the lead in the map. You're just looking to find that initial kill and kind of play around it. And they're doing a similar thing here. Some info coming down from Spicy over towards that player on guard and going to get some shots in that Nate is not going to connect. So we're going to see a little bit of a reset here, choosing to continue to play towards this window. No immediate pressure coming in from the side of the New York subpar to get this player out of there. Aston is pushed up in the office side, looking to potentially cause some havoc here as he's making his way over from Plat now. Going to choose to keep kind of playing Creddy. He's waiting for some of this information and intel to come through. We did see that player Shoku going to get taken down towards the garden side. So Chicago Hunted with the man advantage, going to go chow through office. Floof Boss able to get one. Aston's able to get one as well. Now we're in a 3v2. Rose is planting the bomb. Welts is going to come from the single window. Going to see Floofbot. Going to absolutely rip his head off there. But going to get traded out by Rose
Wow.
that got that bomb down and got the kill. Aston may have got the intel as well on that player on cross. Maybe not. They're choosing to spread out. Make it hard to find both of them. And Ryan here in the 1v2. 30 seconds left. He's got to get both and get the defuse.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. A lot of time, a lot of corners to clear. These players have been repositioning constantly. Really just ironed up here. Aston's going to get picked up towards single window, but you are going to know where that player's at. You maybe don't see that he drops. Now, eventually you do. You pick him up at New York subpar, able to pick up the win here, map number 2. Tying up the series 1-1. But, man, the side of New York, I feel like every time someone gets a kill, they're able to get around the corner, and there's somebody else that just pops out of a different corner that picks up that immediate just like retaliation kill. And so just constantly from the side of them as we get started in this map number 3.
Yeah, the breakoffs are important here. If you're the offensive side, you don't want to go for dead here, lose all those initial gunfights. Rose is able to get that first blood. Floofbot able to follow up with the second as well. Aston's already active in your spawn, able to clean up the third. There's going to be one player out towards G, but Floofbot is going to sniff out Ryan as well. So that's going to push all the Chicago Hunted off respawns, players all over their base. They're going to have a hard time making it out of here as there's another 3 dead. Ryan, the last player that's left alive here, close. And New York subpar has the aggression, but they haven't had the timing to get actually up into the columns and start pushing, that kind of spawn wrapping trap that we see a lot of times. They're choosing just to kind of play it out here, play their man advantage, play the positioning, wait for some of these Chicago Hunter players to go.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I think we see Ashton kind of off rip, starting forward 1, getting very active. And I think if you're the side of Chicago Hunted, that is a dangerous sight to see. Shoku kind of in their own respective, able to get a couple kills here towards mid gun. We do see B starting to get ticked on. Ryan eventually going to fall to the side of Ashton there. We do have proper kill feed this game. Thanks Call of Duty for potentially fixing it, but
Not
I
anyway.
mean, so far, New York subpar, 13 seconds left in the round. We finally see another player hop up B, but this life count is very different between these two teams.
The life count is very different, but Chicago Hunted does have a 3 stack on that B point. There are New York subpar players close, so they can potentially play some of these trades, but 2 kills, 3 kills are going to go down to the side of the Chicago Hunted. That B point is going to get captured. Ryan is going to get the intel on that last player, able to clear him out, and now the A point's getting capped right away. And, the man disadvantage is there, but if you win some big gunfights, it's able to allow a lot of progress to come through this map and a lot of control to come through. Rose is looking to get active here, bottom G's, big kill there. I think a stick comes through on Ryan, but the trophy saves him. So Rose looking to just potentially play nuisance here. Rest of New York subpar kind of collapsing all around this hill. Big gunfights coming down. Blue spot gonna be the last get out by Geeb in the back. Second tick is going to come through. New York subpar off on. 3 players stacking the point now. The contest has got to come through now. Contest comes in. Big gunfight's going to happen here now. On the A point, gunfight's going to the face. New York subpar, they're able to save that A point. They're going to keep their pressure on it to clear this single tick off. But the life advantage that was there is going to be dropped down to just 3 now for the side of the New York subpar. So you've got a little bit of a reset. You got to sniff out some of these players that are making routes already kind of happen and potentially not allow the single tick that the Chicago Hunted need to come through on A.
40 seconds left in the round. We have a 7-7 in life count here. This may come down to lives here. We have 1 tick left on A. Make that half a tick left on A. We're not getting to clear there. A player is able to hop back on there and Geeb. Shoku able to pick up at least 1 kill. Continue that clock to drain down. But the side of Chicago Hunted, no more respawns left. So this is all you have. New York subpar, you got 1 player able to spawn up again. And make that go away. You have S&D here with 20 seconds left. This is pressure on the side of New York's or Chicago Hunted. You're on attack. You got to hop on the point and stop this clock. It is a 2v1 here. Ryan on time. Ashton able to put some great shots there. Holy cow. Oh my goodness, Ashton.
No.
What are you doing? Saving that round for your team. That is crazy out of Ashton there.
I think we're gonna get to see that in the final. Oh no,
That is
Call of Duty!
awful.
What are we doing? Not gonna get
Just
that
clip
for
it.
the
Just clip it. We'll
final
run it back.
kill. Yeah, clip it. We're just gonna throw it up on stream, post prod. It's gonna be great. But that's just a huge string of gunfights there from the side of Aston. Able to, I think the first player was towards mid gun, and then just absolutely laser beams that player that's on the heady on A as well. Just, Jackal supposedly got nerfed. I don't think Aston believes in that being a
I don't think Ashton
possibility.
got nerfed. That's the thing.
I think this dude is just Himothy, just not believing anything that Activision has to say. And clutch round there from the side of New York subpar. Chicago Hunted. You had chances in that round. You're able to get that B point early, or not early, but first, which is always big. You're able to still secure 5 ticks on the round, so still feeling pretty good about your first offense coming out. But now you got to have a stellar defense, and you're looking to not allow New York subpar to have some of those late round heroics that you had in the offensive round. Looking to have a little bit more clinical, set up that spawn trap a little bit better. As always, avoid that 3 or 4 dead scenario to allow the offensive team to take a lot of that map presence away from you. But both these squads evenly matched. We saw the life advantage get absolutely depleted to where it was not in their favor, and they end up winning that round. So just clinical gameplay coming through. Lots of big gunfights, lots of big wins. Stellar play from both these squads here so far in the protocol map number 3.
Yeah, I mean that's a big momentum swing if you're the other side of New York subpar there, able to have Ashton clutch up for you there, win that defensive round. That get a little dicey. I mean, they had full control until just a few seconds left, and we almost never see that on this map. I feel like that's Hossy where we see a couple seconds left, teams start to cap points. But man, I mean, the side of Chicago Hunted really turned nothing into something there. Ashton just kind of continuing where he left off, just putting players in the grave there. That's 3 dead. from the side of Chicago Hunted here. Rose able to pick up that last player towards mid. We see that first tick on A about to come in, and a little bit of contest towards B.
Yeah, little contest towards B. Point gets cleared off as well. No tick coming through quite yet. Another gunfight coming down. Geeb's able to win that as well. On to Aston. Only 7 seconds left here on the round. Only one player really close to the 8 point, but two players going to make their way over towards B, able to potentially get the first tick secured here pretty fast. I think Rose might have got some intel on that player top zip, maybe not. Just kind of, not contesting super heavily here. Gabe's going to get taken out. That's going to allow the second tick to come through immediately. Spicy might have got some intel on the tower, but if you're not able to jump in here fast, the B point's going to be secured, just like what we saw from the side of Chicago Hunted. Some late round heroics coming through on that B point allows you to get that secured and potentially push this round farther, but a lot less lives on the board here. So New York SubPar down 3 lives. You still got 50 seconds left, so still plenty of potential to make sort of that S&D style, get some picks, clear all these players out of the map, and get some positioning to come through. But that's going to be easier said than done with these players set up around here. You've got to sniff them out. You got to find them, take some of this map presence back, and make your way towards that A capture.
And it's the point where you have about 8 or 9 lives left. That's where you start getting a little nervous. Every gunfight that you lose is affecting your team in a massive way. You're continuing to fall here for the set of New York. You have no respawns left. You've only gotten 3 ticks. Welts is doing damage in here towards bottom Grandma's as well. So Chicago Hunted looking like a little bit better of a defensive round. They're only giving up 3 ticks. Rose, last player alive. He's going to hop on point here, but not really going to be able to do much there. Chicago Hunted, uh, not a super great defense there, but a lot better than the side of New York. Only able to give up 3 ticks there, so they are going to be in the advantage on the tick side. If it does come down to a round number 5, they do currently have the advantage to pull a defense.
Yeah, and there's a lot of potential for that to happen. And as of right now, the team that has that defensive side is going to be preferred as of this moment, but that can flip on its head pretty fast. We've seen from both these squads, the spawn trap was a little bit better from the side of Chicago Hunted there. We saw some more aggression pushing out through the ammo or blue building, whatever you want to call it, towards the New York subpar spawn, getting kind of aggressive there, keeping the waves off. We saw the post up spot on Heli from one of the hunted players as well, just kind of cutting off as much as they can. Shoku with nice 2-piece early here in this round, already pushing the pace, pushing the aggression, able to get the third as well onto Geeb. Wells is going to be the last player left up close. It's going to be Heli Stairs. He's going to get spotted by Floofbot, going to be able to back Floofbot off there, but his teammates are just kind of in the blender here right now, as Aston and Shoku are going absolutely ham sandwich in the spawn of the Chicago Hunted right now.
Subs really just need to do what they need to do here on defense. Ashton really kind of making this work, just buying some time for his teammates. Second sub there in Shoku, being pulled out, typically I believe an AR player, really just putting his presence down here on protocol on this defense. Able to make it work so far, able to pick up that player towards P1, or at least help his teammates. Does see that player go towards that spiral side, so that is going to get called out. Player is eventually going to get picked up there, but Ryan is right back here to put some effort in. Geeb able to pick up Ashton on his own as well, so it's going to be 2 players down from the side of New York subpar. We do see another B hit here from the side of Chicago Hunted. Looks like a couple players are leaning towards that A side, so this B could just be a distraction. Any kills that Ryan could have picked up there would have been massive for his team, but unfortunately not able to pick up any. And the side of New York subpar are just playing this right side. They don't seem too concerned about that A point just yet. There's only 1 player on it. It takes quite a while to get that point captured. 45 seconds when there's only 1 player on there. So side of New York subpar just playing their time, doing what they need to. We do have a 2-stack eventually on A from the side of Chicago, so this could get pretty dangerous here in the raise. I say that Rose able to pick up a great 2-piece towards that side.
Yeah, Aston's going big on the right side spawn as well, able to set up those kills for Shoku to get a 2-piece of his own, able to clean up all 4 players with the 2 submachine guns. You allow those 2 ticks to come through on A, but you still keep the presence. You trust your teammates to win those gunfights over towards the A side, and you're able to close off that defensive round much smoother than the first one. So this has been back and forth here. They're going to need a solid offensive round here in order to secure that defense for round number 5, and they definitely have the potential to do it. They just gotta get out of that spawn trap a little bit quicker. Look for the avenues. We're seeing the submachine guns go off on the defensive side. The subs can also go off on the offensive side as well, looking to take some space towards grandmas, get some spawn traps set up. There's still a lot of potential here, but this is going to be a big offensive round. If you win this from the side of New York subpar, you're able to go huge. If you're able to secure, a couple ticks, then you're able to um, secure that defense for yourself as well.
Yeah, they're needing 5 ticks here uh, to guarantee themselves a defense, or you could just get 6 and win the round, or win by
Mm.
lives. Either one kind of work here for the side of New York subpar. Current series is tied 1-1, so this is going to give the advantage to whichever team can win this one. Typically, the swing mode that we see here. So you definitely want to go up 2-1 in the series. You do not want to be down 1-2 and force a hard point and an S&D win to win chumps here. New York subpar able to get out of their spawn just a little bit. They deal with well, choose that last player towards their spawn. Rose able to pick up a kill towards that grandma's side as Ashton is there to help, and he is just wreaking havoc here towards this grandma side, able to spot a couple players, not able to pick up any kills, but is really just allowing his team to pick up some space towards this mid map here. Geeb and Welts are able to pick up kills respectively of their own. Ryan kind of getting in that spawn, going to get traded out by Ashton there. But the side of New York subpar unable to get any ticks so far. 40 seconds left on the round. We'll kind of see if they can continue to try to fight out of their defense or fight out of their spawn here on this attacking round.
Yeah, they have a lot of space over towards the B site. That's where they're gonna make their way over. One player gonna hop on point. Rose looking to push back tower. Gonna get taken out. Floofbot gonna be the player on time. Gonna get jumped on by 3 players from the Chicago Hunted. Gonna get taken out. Shoku, the last player left, close. Gonna get 2 kills there. Gonna jump over into the B point, but gonna get taken out in the back by Spicy. But Chicago Hunted players fighting over towards that B side have allowed Rose to get into the A point with another teammate there stacked up on top of him. So the first tick's going to come through. They've got Aston providing coverage over through top trips, going to help out his team by jumping on the point as well. That second tick is going to come down immediately, and I think Chicago Hunted are going to chalk up this 8 point super fast, and that's going to be the 3 tick mark. So 2 more to go. Live still in play. Win by tick still in play as well, and there's a lot of map presence here from Aston. Being the last player left up from the New York subpar, but Chicago Hunted have this B site pretty secure as of this moment right now.
Yeah, I mean, so far they're doing pretty good here. Lives are even. We do have kill advantage from the side of New York subpar by a significant amount here. So they just need this. They need 2 ticks here to confirm it. 1 tick we're thinking here from the side of kills to just kind of even this up and maybe take that defense. But if you're the side of Chicago Hunted, it's back to tied. You got about 35 seconds left to defend this zone. New York subpar have not been able to really get out onto the map towards that mid side specifically to make anything work. We start to see a push coming down here. Shoko and Floof able to pick up 1 of their own. Rose able to pick up the 3rd. Last player is Ryan here towards P4. He is going to get called out here. Not going to be able to do much so far. They're going to push him towards stairs. Floof able to pick up that kill. It's a great kill from his side. This tick is going to be rolling in here anytime soon. And Raze, I say that Geeb with a great 2-piece. Able to prevent that from coming in. Shoku alive here, looking to put some effort to Geeb with a big kill there as well. Able to shut down the New York subpar himself. He doesn't need any teammates, but he'll take the help. That is a 4th kill from the side of Geeb for this life. 3 seconds left. Shoku down by himself here. They will be offering another offense here. Man, Geeb saved the Chicago Hunted right there towards that B zone.
Yeah, Eve did a really good job playing the positioning, kind of knowing.
Yeah, this better be the play of the game.
Come in. Yeah, there's the first one coming in. Teammate taking some shots downstairs, able to slide out, gonna get some shots into that player, not get him out, and then cleans up that player on the green box heading. That was towards the end of that play, so we actually missed some of the initial stuff happening. Probably a little too long. There's some extended gunfights coming through on that B point, but goes absolutely huge for his squad there. Able to clean off those players, keep the pressure off of that B point, able to secure that defensive side for his squad, for the Chicago Hunted. And, coming in the second defense, you've closed out, or third defense, you've closed out 2 already. Feeling good here so far about the presence and the pressure that you can set up here. Rose is going to be the last player left up, going to get taken out from top trips, and that's going to allow the Chicago Hunted to start pushing their way forward in this map, looking to set up this spawn trap on the New York Star.
This is not looking very good if you're the Sud in New York. Obviously, things can change in an instant here in Call of Duty, especially in Control with a 3 or 4 dead. You can get a bunch of map presence. But Chicago Hunted, you got a player in the spawn. They are going to fall, but you do have a little bit of a wave there towards armor. But that person is going to fall. Geeb, who else but Geeb, able to pick up a great 2-piece there towards that top grandma's. Able to play his life there as well. Able to let Spicy pick up that kill. But Shoku has made it to the B site. Is going to elect to get off just to play his life here. Let his teammates kind of get around. Geeb is just continuing to assert his dominance on the New York SubPar here on this protocol control. He so far, may not be leading the lobby in kills, but is definitely leading the lobby in impactful kills for this map. The B site has been attacked so far. The Sun in New York, but no one else is able to get on there. And Geeb overlooking once again to try to prevent this push. In New York SubPar, this is looking kind of like a do or die situation right here. Finally see someone hit that A and pause that bomb.
Yeah, a pause is going to come through, but the slide chow is going to come in by Welt's. Geeb able to find another one over towards the B side and on a 5 spree, just going absolutely crazy as he was on a 4 spree at the end of the last round, doing a whole lot for his team here. There's going to be a big 1v1 coming down on the A point that's going to get won by Aston. There are going to be players here close for the trade, so they're going to immediately take that out. And with 6 seconds left here on the clock, New York SubPar have to go, and they're running right into the arms of these Chicago Hunted players that are pushed up close. And Chicago Hunted, with that big stand by Geeb in the round number 4, able to secure that defense, which they played stellarly through that map number 3 and close that out in round number 5.
I'm sorry, Geeb. I didn't realize that he was Himothy. I mean, I was saying stuff about Welts, and granted, I think
So,
Welts probably. Side of Chicago Hunted. You're up 2-1 in the series. This is for your championship. New York SubPar, this is your time to fight back and force this to a map number 5, where I think you have been quite a bit better there in the search and destroy. And who else to start this off with the fighting than Ashton?
yeah, Aston's going to get that first blood. Going to get taken out pretty immediately in the trades, though. Neither team playing a lot of time towards this P1, choosing to play towards the P2 side. Brian's able to get a nice 2-piece there. Rose is going to fly down the elevator shaft, able to get that kill, but Wilts is going to be there for the trade. That's going to allow Chicago Hunted to get a little bit of presence up towards this P1. We see Turtle flying into the hill, able to get 1 kill, but going to get taken out immediately. So some pretty back and forth mixiness coming down here on P1. No real hill time here so far through the first 45 seconds, being only 10 points captured so far. Some potential late gunfights coming through on the P1 is going to allow some of this time to go to New York SubPar, going to get traded out. And there's really only one player here from the Chicago Hunted that's going to contest here early, but the rest of his squad is rolling right up. Shoku's going to be the last player left in the back. He's going to have some hard gunfights here in front of him. One player's going to trow him tree. He's going to get taken out. So still causing those blocks to come through potentially if he plays his life, but dies as soon as I say that. Going to get taken out from that top staircase. Aston looking to follow up as well with some trades, and just the back and forth battle here on P2 is going to get panned out towards the side of the Chicago Hunted with spawns, looking to find the info on these New York SubPar players, where they're spawning, where they're coming from, as they're looking to take their advantage up higher here in the P2.
Yeah, and this one's just going to be, we're going to see kind of a late round push here from Ashton and Floof just to be able to secure the last bit of this time. And that's actually a pretty big time here. If they can keep this and keep some of this rotation, we see number 2 there in Rose making a little bit of disruption towards that P3. Able to win a big 2-piece there. Ashton here for support. Shoku is for support as well. So that's all 3 players here ready to go. So turning that unfortunate bit of a P2 into a great P3 rotation so far. Number 7 here on a great flank here. So we expect to see some spawns flipping here. Side of New York SubPar, not able to win any of their gunfights. Chicago Hunted with a good break here into this P3, looking to continue their lead on this map.
Yeah, just a pretty stellar play there. You know, New York SubPar got to the P3, but all 3 players were in P3, so that allowed that last player that was in bottom bed, if I'm not mistaken, to play his life a little bit and ultimately flip those spawns back to their favor. But New York SubPar take the routes here. They break in. They're able to take this time so far. They're going to get traded out for the scrap time to go to the favor of the Chicago Hunted, and they don't really secure this rotation either, as a player was able to make their way through P1 into the back patio. Some potential big gunfight coming down here. Blue Spot's gonna get taken out by Spicy, and Spicy's gonna turn on Roast as well, get a big two-piece. But that's gonna cause these players to spawn in bedroom itself, being that they don't have anybody blocking the deep grass
Just take
spawn,
all
but
of
the
them.
trades are gonna come through. Spicy's killing everybody on a 4 spree right now. Chicago Hunted starting off great here on the P4.
Man, I mean, New York made those routes, did what they needed to towards the end of that P3, and just I think get a little aggressive towards old. I don't really think you need to push old there. You kind of have a free rotation towards P4, and you know, granted, you did break in. You have this, so criticism's a bit mute here, but. Just really unfortunate timing there. They could have had the kind of the ladder of P3 and the majority of P4 here. So they've take this through. They do it. See a contest come down from the side of Ryan. Is going to get picked up. We do see New York SubPar continuing to just dominate the kill feed here, as this is looking to be a tie game as we head into second rotation. And I think if the side of New York SubPar and and Chicago Hunted as well, it's even going into P2 or rotation 2. So you really just need to take advantage and learn how to fix the mistakes that you made the first rotation. Chicago Hunted won the P2, had the majority of the time there, obviously lost like the last 20 seconds or so, had a good rotation towards P3, but kind of lose those transition fights, and then obviously had a good P4, but just kind of lost some of that the wave, didn't have some great control there. So the other side of them, it's your rotations have been pretty good. I think it's just a lot of the holds that you're needing to work on. At New York SubPar, it's kind of obviously the complete opposite, where you need to start rotating early and you need to continue to break if you can't hold it.
Yeah, certainly. Those are the exact points that I would make if I'm looking at these two rosters right now. And the late break heroics by New York Subpar kept them in that first rotation. I mean, if Chicago Hunted was able to pick up that last 20 seconds, they would have been looking at a 20-second disadvantage rather than being evened up here. New York Subpar doing exactly what you want from them so far, rotating early, but the gunfights going to the favor of Chicago Hunted early are going to get traded out by the rest of the squad here with New York Subpar. There is one player, Welts, number 5, that's looking to take a route through the back. He's going to get a big kill on a player that's back white stairs, but going to get traded out by Aston. Aston's looking for another player, going to take out that player Kitchen as well. One player able to sneak through the front, though. Another player on the piano as well. Immediately, trades are going to come through. New York Subpar with that early rotation, not going to get their spawns blocked in the back, so they're doing a good job here holding on P2, and maybe some late break heroics coming in from the side of the Chicago Hunted now, as Ryan is on Chowder Hill. Blue Bot's able to win that 1v1. We see that lead shade coming through, but now we're over towards P3 where Rose is already getting active.
Yeah, and I mean, Chicago Hunted, obviously, you lose all your advantage there in the game, but you are going to gain a little bit here on this P2 as you kind of get a favorable spawn towards that left side. But as we kind of continue to look towards the rest of the game here, P3 and P4, you do not want to be on that left side of the mini map. You want to be spawning to the right, back there towards C-Dom, and it's kind of just where you want to stick. So far, the side of Chicago Hunted, now that they're looking towards C-Dom, are going to be blocking those spawns, and that's going to allow this natural pinch to come through. The side of Chicago Hunted need to read this. If they do not, they are going to get broken. That's kind of exactly what we see here. Ryan able to pick up one, is able to pick up the second. No, he is not. And Shoku and Co are able to break in and have some success here towards this P3, as this game is very close in terms of the score line here, as we eventually are going to start this rotation towards the P4 with Chicago Hunting having this advantage on spawns.
Yeah, they are going to have the advantage of spawns. New York Subpar should be able to grab the rest of the scrap time, but not sure about all the positioning of the Chicago Hunted. But all 4 of their players are going to be posted up here in the hill. They're going to have some big gunfight wins here from bottom red. We are going to see one player spawn out from the side of Chicago Hunted Kitchen. Shoku is going to read that, going to pick him up. Uh, there's a big gunfight win here in the back by Ryan, is going to force those spawns to the favor of the Chicago Hunted still. So big 1v1 kill. Rose is going to be the player left close, going to get taken out. That's going to allow Chicago Hunted to be here first for the P4, looking to get their ideal setup here with a couple players watching flat, players in the hill itself. And now we're just going to see a pretty mixy fest come through here. Rose is able to find that player in the time. There's one player close, that's Ryan. Rose is looking just more for some intel here, looking to keep his position on the map, keep that pressure on the Chicago Hunted with no assistance yet from the rest of the squad.
Yeah, I mean the whole goal from Rose there is to try to keep a player out of time. Just gets a little bit unfortunate there with the shouldering towards that back. Didn't see that player sliding in, but side of Chicago hunted once again, you have yourself this little bit of a lead here, going into about 30 points heading into this P1. It's kind of the biggest that we've seen. We saw about a 20. We do see a couple players taking these underground routes. The side of New York subpar start to spawn out, so we should see these arrows starting to turn. Spicy able to pick up 2 of his own towards this P1 and make that all 4 dead from side of New York. But it is Skyline. You're kind of right back in the mix here. Aston not able to pick up that kill for himself. The side of Chicago hunted are holding down a pretty good P1 here, finally crossing that 200 point mark here. And this is where it gets dangerous from the side of New York subpar. Things get to a little bit more nervy. You start to make some chows that you know you shouldn't towards the end of the game. And so this is where you need to calm down. You need to pick up some time here on P1. You got 30 seconds left. Bring this within a 30-point game, and you need to start focusing towards this P2. Shoku's looking like he wants to invest some time here. But the rest of his teammates are not here. Aston picks up a big kill towards the middle of the map. They're going to put some pressure. Shoku's going to find a free kill up here towards top, and this new P2 is secured here. They're going to have the spawns. It's going to get a little bit mixy here with number 5. Welt's able to pick up that kill. Spicy able to pick up a kill towards top as well. This is just going to be a mixy P2. Those spawns are going to come in for the side of Chicago hunted, so the side of New York are going to have a great break here, and they pretty much have 1 or 2 opportunities here. So it's Chicago hunted. This is your time to iron up and get ready for these gunfights.
Yeah, Chicago hunted has got to be ready for the gunfights. The player in time is going to get taken out. Blue looking to push through the back to force the spawn out to come through. Big 1v1 coming down on the time is going to be won by Welts. Spawns going kind of mixy here are going to go to the favor of the Chicago hunted, being that they're the last players left there close towards the hill. And like you mentioned, in New York subpar, you've got about 1 good solid break left here on the P2. Rose is looking to get active, potentially through that zip side. Player's going to go through hop up, going to help him out, able to take out the player in hill, going to get traded out from plat. Spicy going huge with a 2-piece there for his squad. Shoku, the last player left close, is going to get 1 kill, going to get some shots taken into him from that player front, is going to get taken out. That's going to force the Chicago hunted not to be able to win on that P2, and New York subpar is going to be here first with Rose, able to get the first kill, but some Chicago hunted presence coming down pretty immediately here from their side.
Yeah, I'm going to wait a few seconds before I say anything here, but kind of as we see some kills developing here, this is not a game over for the side of New York subpar. We have seen plenty of Skylines do this here on a P3. Geeb able to come up with a great 2-piece of his own, able to pick up another kill before falling there. Ryan able to pick up one of his own. Floof looking at 2 players there, not able to take any down there. Chicago hunted Arda across the 250, and this is maybe the point where you're slightly worried if you're the side of New York subpar, but
worried.
maybe slightly. But the side of Chicago hunted, I mean, we get to. There's always a point on Skyline. I feel like we see this when there's a decent point advantage towards the end of the game where someone just takes advantage of the map and they take it and they run with it. That third rotation P1, we saw Chicago hunted constantly in control of P1, controlling